Here is an example. You have a paragraph, and then you have an attempt at a paraphrase. And please don't read the answer until you read the paragraph and the paraphrase. I'll send this to you so you can have it for a longer time. And some of you complained about not seeing the print very well. So I'll send this to you so you can have a closer look and think of it before looking at the answer. One of the major subpoints in Lecture 3 was plagiarism detector tools. Now, this is great help, not only for professors to check students' assignments and their researchers, the researchers that work under supervision, but also for you. Students can use plagiarism detector tools to check their work before submitting it to their professors. This is a link I found on Google, and I'll show it to you so you can have easy access to it. Here we are. The top 8 plagiarism detector tools. As I mentioned last week, some of these tools are free and some are not. Some are better than the others because of their ability to check plagiarism and spot it and give you a clear answer. So what you do is very simple. For example, I told you that Turnitin is one of the best. In my university, the university bought the program and made it available for both staff and students. I'm sure most of your universities do the same with either Turnitin or any other efficient plagiarism tool. Now, how does it work? This is duplicate checker. You paste here the paragraph you want to check, or you upload the work in Microsoft Word form, and then you get the result. You check plagiarism. It also helps you with checking grammar if you would like to do that. So this is basically how most of the plagiarism checkers work. And then the parts that are in most tools, the parts that are taken directly as they are will be cited, will be highlighted like this. If there are direct quotations, don't bother about that. Of course, if you have put the in-text citation, there is no problem. But if you haven't followed it by brackets and mentioning the source, then you have a problem. That means you have mistakenly taken from a source without acknowledging it, without citing the reference. And this is an instance, this will be considered an instance of plagiarism. Now in lecture 4, which is today's lecture, we said we will assign it for revision and questions and answers. Most of the questions I received were about technical issues, not being able to see the assignment, failing to download the quiz, and things like that. As for questions related to the content, I answered them immediately. For example, one of them was about whether You need to cite when you are doing paraphrase. I answered yes, of course. When you are doing a paraphrase, you are taking the idea of another person, so you have to acknowledge the idea even if you have changed the wording. Now, the exercise that I have given you last week, also some of you said they couldn't see it clearly, so I sent it to you. Please check it in the tasks of lecture 3. Now, as I told you, this is one of the assignments of my students who refused to admit or actually was unable to realize that she committed plagiarism. So I took a screenshot and showed her the result of her assignment. So look at what Turnitin has done. It checks the originality and it also checks the percentage of how similar your work is to other works. So this percentage should be as low as possible. As I said, most disciplines and most professors say only 10%. So 35 is considered to be high. And especially if you don't cite, if you don't mention between 2 brackets the source that you have used to get this idea or to take the exact sentences from that source. So as you can see, Turnitin showed me that this part that is highlighted is taken from this reference, this website, which some of you know, eNotes. It's also related to literature, English literature. So what the student has done is she has taken the part, changed one word in the middle. You see, this is not highlighted, so this is original. This is the student's word. And notice that it is also highlighted in the reference as claim. She only added the past tense of the verb, which means that again she was very close to the original. And the student then was convinced that it's not just my judgment, and it's not only my long experience in reading research and knowing the style of the students, knowing the ability of the student in writing first, and the second in intellectual debate, so and intellectual analysis also. So out of experience, professors would know without even putting it to a plagiarism tool. So on the margin here, you can see the matching, how much of the student's paper match material that is found on the internet. So this is one part that I have checked here, and it is 6%. And then she has also copied from other students' papers, different percentage. It is okay if it is 2%, and that is a direct quote. But if she has not put the direct quote between brackets, between inverted commas, and then cited the reference between brackets, then that is plagiarism, and that is not wrong. So this is how you read the results of Turnitin. I hope it's clear now. So in answer to the question I gave you, what is the problem of this student's answer? Number 1, she failed to cite. Number 2, she copied exactly the wording. She copied the wording of the source exactly. So 2 major problems that would make me consider this an instance of plagiarism. So what I was saying is that, pardon me, students can make use of the plagiarism detector tools to check their work before submitting it to their professors. When you do a paraphrase, again, put it on a plagiarism detector tool so that you will know if your paraphrase is a good one or not. I have given you different resources. After each lecture, I sent you some resources that I have used in preparing the PowerPoint presentation, and some that are extra material that I really recommend that you read because it has many useful information, many useful pieces of information, and also practice, because there is a lot, let me show you, there is a lot on plagiarism examples. So if you just put examples, you will get paragraphs and wrong paraphrasing, which is here, the problem is word for word. That means the student has copied the exact wording of the reference, and also other examples here. You see? So you have plenty of resources on the website to make use of and to study the examples. The more you look at, the more you will be able to identify good